Welcome. At the end of May 2025, the European Commission, in cooperation with the OECD and with support from Code.org, published a draft framework that I find genuinely impressive. The AI Literacy Framework for Primary and Secondary Education, entitled Empowering Learners for the Age of AI. As always in the series, Computing Education 101. To explain why AI literacy deserves high priority, the framework begins with striking survey results, including the Vodafone Foundation study on the AI skills gap. This gap arises because 74 of 12 to 17-year-olds believe that AI will play an important role in their professional lives, yet only 46% feel that their school prepares them well, and only 44% think their teachers are well prepared. When asked how Gen Z learns about AI, social media comes first at 55%, while teachers account for just 15%. Such findings are certainly one reason why the OECD intends to include media competencies and AI literacy in PISA 2029 and to test them through realistic simulations. Their website states, "This new assessment is envisioned as a simulated environment. These competencies are assessed using a variety of functional tools, for example, realistic simulations of the internet, social media, and generative AI tools." During the launch of the draft framework on the 22nd of May 2025, Andreas Schleicher showed how the AI literacy framework aligns with the existing PISA metrics and presented example items. Pupils might be asked to explain whether a photo was generated by AI and to justify their answer, or to investigate whether a headline is fake news using an AI chatbot in the test environment that may suggest indicators, and then use a built-in search engine to gather evidence. Other task types address ethical aspects as well as participation and collaboration. But what exactly do the OECD and the European Commission mean by AI literacy? In the current draft, it is defined as a robust combination of technical knowledge, durable skills, and future-ready attitudes. The aim is to enable young learners not only to use AI systems efficiently, but also to question them critically, control them responsibly, and, where appropriate, deliberately decide against using them. In other words, it is about sovereign agency in everyday and working life, producing critical consumers and responsible creators. To illustrate this, the report introduces several personas, children of different ages using AI to write stories, develop a wellness app, install or set up a voice assistant for the family, or manage the division of tasks for a school event. As the definition suggests, this ambitious goal is broken down into 4 domains. The first is engaging with AI, which focuses on understanding how AI works. Computational thinking plays a significant role here, including the conscious and effective use of AI in everyday life and the evaluation of results. Overall, students need to consider the societal impact. The second is creating with AI, which involves generating new products, texts, images, or ideas with the help of AI, as well as assessing their quality. Team and project work using AI tools also falls into this category, as does considering ethical issues, such as ensuring that the result remains fair and appropriate. The domain of managing AI involves making informed decisions about when, where, and to what extent AI should support procedures and processes. Critical use and responsible communication about AI are essential. The goal is not to replace humans with AI, but rather to expand our capabilities. The final domain is designing AI. It aims to give learners the confidence to find creative AI solutions and help shape the AI world. For example, they can prepare their own data and adapt models to design the technology themselves. The competencies in this AI literacy framework consist of knowledge, skills, and attitudes, and ethical aspects are also repeatedly found in these three areas, which means that they are always incorporated into the overall competency. If you take a closer look at the knowledge area, we find 5 fields of knowledge in the document. The first is nature of AI, which addresses the basic principles of algorithms and machine learning. I have listed the knowledge areas K1.1 to K1.4 as examples, but these can be found in much greater detail throughout the document, as can the other areas of knowledge that I have not listed here. The next area of knowledge is AI reflects human choices and perspectives. Every AI reflects the data, assumptions, and interests of people who develop it. The third area is AI reshapes work and human roles. Automation, new job profiles, and the shift in responsibilities are discussed here. The fourth is AI's capabilities and limitations, from excellent pattern recognition to a lack of empathy. And AI's role in society is the fifth field of knowledge. Here the impact on democracy, the environment, and justice is addressed. The skills are divided into 7 key areas. The first is computational thinking. Problems should be broken down and processes translated into clear instructions. The second is critical thinking. AI results must be checked and evaluated for plausibility, and sources should be verified. The third is creativity. We must develop ideas further and use AI as a co-author and co-designer. Then there's self and social awareness. Our own and societal impacts must be recognized. Collaboration, we should work effectively with people and machines. Communication, the functioning and consequences of AI should be explained in an understandable way. And then there's problem solving, weighing up, depending on the situation, whether and which AI solution is appropriate. Complementary to knowledge and skills are 5 attitudes that form the ethical foundations. The first sub-item is responsible. Decisions should be guided by the common good. Curious, exploring new developments and asking critical questions. Innovative, trying out creative solutions. Adaptable, responding flexibly to technological and social changes. Empathetic, always considering the impact on other people. These values ensure that AI is not an end in itself, but rather pursues human-centered goals. How do these 3 dimensions interact in practice? The AI literacy framework explains this very clearly under the heading The Anatomy of a Competence. An example is deciding whether to use an AI system for a specific task. This requires knowledge, colored blue, about opportunities and risks, specifically in the areas of K4, capabilities and limitations, and K5, AI's role in society, specifically even underlined with the knowledge elements K4.1, AI excels at pattern recognition and automation, but lacks emotions, ethical reasoning, context, and originality. And K5.4, ethical AI design encompasses fairness, transparency, explainability, accountability, respect for privacy, and legal compliance. Then there are the skills, shown in green. In this example, the skills are problem solving and computational thinking. I need to know how to solve the task and break down the problem to make a decision. Next are the attitudes, shown in red. In this case, they are being responsible and innovative. Thus, the ethical aspects are included in the attitudes and, in this competency, the knowledge elements as well. The entire process falls under the domain of managing AI, which involves making informed decisions about when, where, and to what extent AI should support procedures and processes. Finally, 2 levels are distinguished. A primary school scenario. Primary school students consider everyday tasks, such as writing a birthday card, and then assess when the use of AI is appropriate. For example, they consider the need for individuality, creativity, and human judgment at their level. In the secondary school scenario, students decide whether to use an AI system for certain school tasks depending on the learning objectives. There are 22 AI literacy competencies in the framework. It is much easier to read about them in the document itself, which also contains the corresponding knowledge elements, skills, and attitudes on which these competencies are based. The 4 colors in this overview represent the 4 domains: engaging with AI, light blue, creating with AI, green, managing AI, red, and designing AI, dark blue. Finally, the place of AI literacy in schools needs to be discussed. To this end, this framework deliberately highlights links to other topics and disciplines. Computing, for example, provides methods such as abstraction and algorithms. Media literacy strengthens information search and critical thinking. Data science contributes data analysis and bias. Ethics sets normative guidelines. And design thinking promotes iterative problem solving. These interdisciplinary connections reinforce the idea that AI literacy should be taught in different contexts. It is up to each subject, especially computing, to define their own contribution here. The draft AI literacy framework is currently open for comment from perspectives including school practice, research, and education policy. In summary, students must acquire AI-specific technological know-how, such as algorithmic thinking, prompt engineering, and recognizing bias in data, to prepare for the future. However, even more important than technical know-how are human skills that AI cannot replicate: empathy, judgment, ethical thinking, and collaboration. The AI literacy framework incorporates these values into its structure, promoting a competency and ethics-centered approach to learning in the age of AI. Thus, the AI literacy framework provides a roadmap that equips learners with the necessary tools, mindsets, and confidence to succeed in an AI-enabled world.